So, organizational line drawing is really essential in learning how to cite and measure and understand proportions of objects in relation to one another. I think it really helps to look at the organizational line method as almost like the structure, the skeletal structure or the scaffolding of your drawing. In the examples here, you can also see not just the structural lines, comparing and contrasting and measuring, but you can also tell that the artists imagined the objects as if they were all transparent. Translucent. This really helps during this early preliminary process of citing and measuring and gaining accuracy. These lines take measurements of height, width, relative height, and width of objects in relation to one another. They take measurements of the space in between the objects, and these lines also help you create objects that feel stable, that feel symmetrical, that feel like they're not leaning one way or the other if they are straight and upright. Here we have a few Alberto Giacometti drawings that really kind of drive home and illustrate this point, this organizational line drawing, thinking of things as though they were transparent, translucent. It's great to look at these and really commit time to this stage in the game because it helps you establish accuracy very early on before you're committing to your drawing fully. So let's begin. I am looking at the still life that I've included here, and what I'm noticing is that I have to just kind of establish like verticality, right? All the objects have vertical lines that run through them, imaginary vertical lines, but that helps me kind of just like establish those and start to kind of put things down. Now, I really am kind of going back and forth between negative and positive space. We talked about negative space being the space in between the objects, positive space is space that the objects actually take up. I'm using those lines, this organizational lines, to kind of go back and forth between the objects to make sure that what appears to be in the background really feels like it's on the background. It's usually higher up on the page. If you look at the base of the object, if an object is further out front, it's usually lower. The base of the object is lower on the page. Those are really quick and simple ways of establishing space right off the bat. So I know I said this before, but it's really important to spend time on this phase of the drawing because you don't want to commit to something and really delve in um, when all of your proportions are not quite right. You may find that like as the drawing progresses, you have some tweaks here and there, but really establishing the basic structure early on is so important for developing and committing to your drawing. So try not to be too precious with your drawing, right? Early on, it will hold you back because you're committing to something that is not quite right. So I'm constantly citing, measuring one object to the next. Once you feel like you've gotten your proportions accurate, then you can move on to developing the drawing with more detail or value or however you want to see that drawing kind of flesh out.